Having discipline with yourself makes you feel more confident because it makes you feel like, okay, I can set a goal for myself and I can succeed at it.
I want you to visualize this. The person who you currently are is right here. The person who you want to become is right here. The gap in between the two is everything you need to learn to become the person that you want to be. Sometimes when we look at that gap, it can be a little overwhelming. It can be a little scary. Every time I've gone on a journey of building self-discipline, I always end up back at square one. I always end up back at the beginning, and it's because I leaned into this all or nothing mindset. Oftentimes we look at discipline as something that needs to be turned on overnight. We look at it as a switch that needs to be made almost instantly, and that's not how it works. In James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, we all love Atomic Habits, he writes, every action you take is a vote for the person that you wish to become. Every action you take, because actions build momentum. Momentum builds drive. Drive builds discipline. Look at your actions and ask yourself a few questions. What can you do right now that will move you into a better place? Why do you want better for yourself? And why do you need better for yourself? But why is this all important? Why do we even care? Because your body and your life in the next 30 to 40 years is going to be a clear reflection of the habits that you built or failed to build in your 20s and 30s. So one of the main things that so many of us have issues with when it comes to being on a self-discipline journey is our health and fitness goals, okay? Health and fitness is something that we all struggle with, eating healthy, remaining in the gym, keeping consistent workout habits. I want to remind you of this. Motivation is going to come and go. Motivation is going to ebb and flow, and that is okay. You're not always going to want to work at 100%. And you're not supposed to always work at 100%. We often slip accountability under the rug the older we get because we're the only ones that are holding ourselves accountable. And I highly recommend reaching out to a professional, hiring a professional to help keep you accountable, like a fitness trainer or a fitness coach. We all know the saying, if it's too hot, then get out of the kitchen, right? The problem with that saying is that if you get out of the kitchen every single time it gets too hot, then you are not going to grow. You cannot exit every single time things get hard. You're not going to learn, you are not going to grow, and you're not going to get closer to your goals. The thing is, you need to get comfortable with being a little bit uncomfortable, okay? And sometimes it's a lot of uncomfortability. You want to start waking up early. Sometimes you're going to feel so uncomfortable with waking up early that you feel like throwing up when you wake up in the morning. You want to start working out more. Sometimes working out more is going to make you feel tired. It's going to make you feel sluggish. It's not going to be what you want to do all the time. All of these big things that you want in your life are going to be coupled with the feelings of being uncomfortable. At some point, at one point in the journey, you are going to feel uncomfortable. But the thing is, you have to push through that uncomfortable feeling to get to the other side, because you have to remember it is not always going to be like this. You are not always going to feel uncomfortable. You're not always going to feel like throwing up every time you wake up at 5 a.m. You're not always going to feel extremely exhausted while working out 45 minutes 3 times a week. You are not always going to feel uncomfortable, but it's going to feel uncomfortable. I'm so sorry, that's my dog. This time last year, I started waking up at 5 a.m. And there's so many reasons as to why I decided to start waking up early. And I'll talk about that in a video soon. But I didn't like it in the beginning, let me tell you that. It didn't feel good. I knew I had goals for myself. The routine I had before was not working because I was not going to the gym consistently. I was skipping out on the gym more times than not, and I was noticing it in my appearance. Obviously, I was gaining more weight. I wasn't feeling the best. Usually when I go too long without having a consistent fitness routine, I just start to notice it in my moods. So I knew that the only way I was going to be successful at this was to get my workouts done before work. I started challenging myself to get to the gym by 5 a.m. and I started waking up before 5 a.m. to get to the gym. because I had to be at work at 7:30. The first week that I tried it, I probably only succeeded one time, okay? I only succeeded one time. My alarm would go off day after day after day, and I would snooze it day after day after day. But I kept trying at it, okay? I would wake up, I would feel like throwing up, and I would get right back in bed. And the next day I would try it again. But one thing that I noticed over time, I started waking up a little bit before my alarm. I started waking up without the alarm. And my body just was starting to get used to me waking up. Over time, I reached my goal of getting to the gym at 5 a.m. Over time, I reached my goal at getting there, and I reached my goal of working out more consistently. And I started feeling changes in my body. I started seeing changes in my body, and I reached that goal. Was it uncomfortable in the beginning? Yes. Did I get comfortable with being uncomfortable? Yes. And let's talk about repercussions and grace. A lot of people are not going to want to hear this. If you are uncomfortable with what I'm about to say, then this is not the video for you. Give yourself grace all you want. You have to realize that with grace comes repercussions. I say this with so much love. Yes, we're going to have to give ourselves grace every once in a while. We are. I give myself grace too. I give myself grace all the time because we're human and we have to. You just have to remember that giving yourself grace is not going to get you closer to your goals. It's actually going to push you further away from your goals. The more you fall into the habit of eating everything that you want and not sticking to a proper diet that's filled with vegetables, fruits, all the things that you need to be healthy and live a healthy life, the more you push away from those things, the worse your health is going to get. It's not going to get better. I promise you that. It's not. Okay, I know a lot of us know this. A lot of times though, it takes us getting deeper and deeper until we realize that we have to choose ourselves. We have to choose our health. We have to choose us. But the more grace you give yourself, the further you are pushing yourself back, especially when it comes to eating healthy, especially when it comes to working out. Yes, the gym will always be there. Yes, healthy foods will always be there, but your health will not always be there. Sometimes we need that reality check. We need that reality check. This past summer, I hit 155 pounds. That is the heaviest I think I've ever been. That's almost close to 160 pounds, which I want to be very clear. I am 4'11". I'm under 5 foot. So that is not an ideal weight for a person under 5 foot. And as the days were going on and I was seeing myself gain the weight, I just was simply telling myself, Janet, you have to make a change. Janet, you have to make a change. But I continued to give myself grace because I wasn't ready. I don't know what triggered me with this number, but once I hit over 155 pounds, I think it's because I was sitting at 155 pounds for so long and I just never thought it would change. Once 155 turned to 156, something just clicked inside of me and I was like, okay, hold up. We gotta make a change now. We gotta change. We gotta make a change. So I took the steps necessary to start changing my life. I forget what the day was. I want to say it was like August 20th. I stepped on the scale and I was 152 pounds. Today, I am 142 pounds. So I've lost a total of 10 pounds since then, which I'm so proud of myself, but it's taken a lot of habit changes. I'm not done yet. I've consulted with my fitness coach and told her, I have about 8-ish pounds more that I want to lose. I want to get down into the 130s, and she's helping me create a routine that's going to help me hit those goals. Obviously, a lot of it is diet. A lot of it is making sure I'm sticking to my calorie deficit. The thing is that I want to say is yes, give yourself grace. This past summer, I was going through it with my mental health. I just needed a moment, okay? I just needed a moment. That moment turned into a day. That day turned into a week. That week turned into a month. And the time just kept going and my weight got heavier and heavier. Give yourself grace, but remember, the more grace you're giving yourself, the harder it's going to be to hit the goals that you have set for yourself. All right, now that we've talked about the real, it's time to talk about some ways to actually truly build discipline in our lives. And I'm just going to break it down into different categories in our lives. So, number one is building routine. If you watch a lot of YouTube, then you probably see a lot of routine videos. You'll see morning routine videos, night routines, Sunday resets, self-care routines. There's so many routines here on YouTube. All you have to do is search routine. Routines are so important in our everyday lives because it's what builds structure. I don't think you need a routine for everything. I do think that you do need to build some type of routine in your life. Currently, the most important routines for me in my life are my workout routine, my reset routine, and my morning routine. Those are just the most important things for me. And yes, some of these will overlap. Will you follow these routines all the time? No. These routines are not meant for you to follow them every single day. And I think that's what overwhelms people when it comes to the idea of having routines, especially morning routines. These routines are set in place for you to hit the goals that you have for yourself. Let me tell you, if you have a consistent morning routine that you actually like to follow, you're more likely to work out more consistently. You're more likely to drink more water. You're more likely to do all the things that you put in that morning routine. If your goal is to work out more and you like to work out in the morning, well, maybe you should build a morning routine where you can incorporate working out, because that's the thing. Consistency builds habits. Habits build discipline, okay? And that's why people have routines. I've worked 40-hour weeks, I've worked 60-hour weeks, I've worked 70-hour weeks. I used to be a teacher and a cheer coach. I built a 5 a.m. morning routine. Let me tell you, it was not easy, but I promise you, showing up for myself was always more important to me. Was I tired? Yes. Did it run me down at times? Yes. I knew working out was important, and I knew eating healthy was important. And I wasn't getting the movement that I needed to get in. So what did I do? I started waking up at 5 a.m. to work out. Same thing with last year. I wasn't hitting the goals that I needed to hit while I had a part-time job. I needed to get to a 5 a.m. workout routine so I could focus on my workouts first thing in the morning, and I could focus on my content after work. That is the thing. You are going to do what's important to you, period. So if working out isn't important to you in the morning, then don't build a morning routine. Build an evening routine as well. They may not be as popular to people, but evening routines are just as important as morning routines. I say all this to say routine is important. If you're dealing with a lack of motivation, you are dealing with a lot of depression, if you're dealing with your place becoming extremely messy all the time, maybe build a reset routine that'll help you keep your place in order. A lot of people struggle with keeping a clean space. I used to struggle with keeping a clean space. I know it doesn't look like it, but I used to struggle with keeping a clean space. And me and my husband have come up with a whole routine that has worked for us. When my place is a mess, I don't want to be productive. I don't want to cook in my kitchen. I'd rather leave the house and just go eat whatever. And it's just a consistent snowball effect from there. I start to become depressed. I don't feel like myself anymore. And it's a snowball effect from there. Building routine is going to help you build discipline in your life, okay? It's going to help all of these other things fall into place as well. So once you build your morning routine, you're going to be working out more consistently, and that's going to help you start eating more consistently, and that's going to help you want to start looking better because you're going to start seeing changes in your body, and that's going to make you do more of a self-care routine for yourself, and that's going to trickle down into building a reset routine for yourself to keep your space clean so it can align with who you are becoming. Building routine builds discipline. So build some type of routine for yourself. You don't have to build all the routines, but build some type of routine for yourself. You need to increase your movement any way that you can, especially if you've hit a fitness slump. Recently, I was in such a fitness slump this summer. I just was not inspired. Nothing was inspiring me to get to the gym. Nothing was inspiring me to work out consistently. I was working out, but I wasn't working out consistently. Nothing was inspiring me. I ended up going on a trip with my sister and my mom. I spent 6 days in Paris, guys. And within those 6 days, we walked so much that I ended up losing 5 pounds. I got back and I was shocked when I stepped on the scale and saw that I was now in the 140s. I didn't work out not once when I was in Paris. We ate relatively healthy because, the food is so different there. It definitely is different there. But the one thing that I know made the biggest difference was how much I walk. Walking, you guys, is so underrated. I don't think any of us realize how much walking can make a difference in our everyday lives when it comes to our health. That first 5 pounds falling off made me gain so much confidence. It made me gain so much confidence that I started walking downtown by myself, which is so crazy because I never liked going downtown by myself and just like walking. I'm scared that someone's gonna come snatch me up or something. I have an irrational fear of getting kidnapped. I've started going downtown and doing 3-mile walks because I've just been so inspired by the fact that I lost 5 pounds by simply walking every single day for 6 days. Walking is so underrated, guys. It's so underrated. Thing is, you need to simplify everything when it comes to building discipline and your workout routine. Simplify it. Start small and then build from there. Start walking 3 times a week and then maybe throw in 1 Pilates class from there. Whenever you're able to visualize, oh, I'm going on a walk 3 times this week and then Pilates, that's nothing. It's not really nothing. It's a lot. Like, walking is a lot. It burns a lot of calories. Like I said before, it is very underrated. You're tricking yourself to thinking that you're not doing much when you really are. So start small, walking 3 times a week and maybe 1 day of Pilates. And then maybe increase it to 2 days of Pilates and 2 days of walking. And then maybe 1 day of walking, 2 days of Pilates, 1 day of strength training. Do you see what I'm doing there? I am building myself up as my confidence grows. Okay, I'm not trying to be at 100. I'm not trying to be this athlete. Okay, I'm not trying to be an athlete right out the gate. I am building my confidence so I can build discipline from there. It's not sustainable to go from 0 to 100, like I said earlier before. Take the time to build yourself up to those habits. Take the time to build yourself up slowly but surely. I used to have so much pride because I used to be so tiny. I used to be 120 pounds, 125 pounds, which is crazy. I miss that girl. I used to be so fit, and it's humbling to have to be like, oh, I'm walking 3 times a week and going to Pilates. It's humbling. Guess what? I am working my way back to becoming that girl again. I'm not embarrassed to say that I used to be 125 pounds. I used to be this fit spo. I used to be this girl that everybody asked, what's your workout routine? But she's becoming that girl, okay? We're becoming that girl again. The thing is, we're taking the time that it takes to get there and we're moving slowly but surely. Now I've been preaching this low intensity workout lifestyle. I've been preaching it so much on my channel. I've been talking about it so much because we're fed the high intensity stuff so much. We're fed the running and all of the like HIIT workouts and all this stuff, but you can truly lose weight by simply walking more. And by simply doing low intensity workouts. It has to be coupled with some type of caloric deficit, of course. And now walking and Pilates is my main source of fitness, okay? It's what keeps me motivated and I love it so much, and I totally recommend it. If you're feeling stuck in your journey, start walking. Start with walking and then you'll soar from there. Imagine the time it takes to put together a puzzle, right? A puzzle with around 1,000 pieces. It's slow, it's steady, it's calculated. Everybody has their own way of putting together puzzles. For me, I like to start with the perimeter, right? Then we start building the inner pieces of the puzzle from the perimeter. You might start seeing the sky and you grab all the blue pieces and try to put together the sky. You might see a tree in the corner and you put together the tree. It's slow, it's steady, it's calculated, and it's a part of the journey. Look at me now. I have a fitness coach, I'm in the gym, I'm weightlifting again, and it feels really, really good. But but it all started with walking. Let's talk about tapping into healthier habits. I said this before. The more you push away from eating healthier and nourishing your body, the harder it's going to get to reach your goals. The more you're going to be pushing yourself back. Give yourself grace every once in a while, but just know that sometimes grace is going to equal an increase in your weight. It's okay to go through things. It's okay to not be okay. I just want to let you know that. It's okay to be going on a healing journey. It's okay to go through a death and a rebirth. Just know that it's going to set you back a little bit, and you need to be prepared to get yourself back on track from there. And just know the longer that it takes, the harder it is to break the habits that you've built. So if you've built these habits that you've stuck onto for 10 months, 2 years, 3 years, it's not gonna take a week to break those habits. It's gonna take a while. One thing that I struggled with the most was eating. I was overeating at one point, and it was really hard for me to get myself back on track with my eating goals. We've come a long way with coming into a calorie deficit, and I've done it myself. I've done it all by myself. Going back to that uncomfortable feeling, one way that I've built discipline when it comes to eating is being okay with being uncomfortable. When you're in a calorie deficit, you're gonna feel so uncomfortable at times. You're gonna wanna munch, you're gonna wanna eat. But one thing that I've noticed that has made me feel so good is just seeing the changes. When I start seeing those changes, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's worth it. Your body is not a machine, guys. It works like a machine, but it's not a machine. It needs time to rest. One thing that has helped me so much is making sure that I'm eating enough protein, making sure that I'm eating enough carbs, eating enough of all the things that I need to eat to keep myself satiated so my body can digest its food, okay? And this has helped me so much. So I eat my breakfast. A lot of times I like to eat like 2 eggs, some bread or a tortilla, and some turkey bacon. It just depends. Right now I'm doing like 2 eggs, 2 turkey bacons, and some toast. And that's what I've been doing this week. You know, I never used to eat 2 eggs, but the thing is, I need to keep myself full and satiated for as long as possible. Once I eat that last bite, guys, once I consume that last bite, I'm not eating again until lunch or until my next meal. I'm letting my body digest what it needs to digest, and then I eat my next meal. This has been so hard, but one way to do it is to stay out of the kitchen, okay? Keep yourself busy and keep yourself hydrated. You need to be drinking a lot of water because a lot of times you're not hungry, you're thirsty. Make sure that you're eating foods with all the food groups, a lot of protein, a lot of healthy fruits and vegetables. Make sure you're eating as many vegetables as you can. Incorporating as much volume in my meals as possible, but it's like healthy volume. It's volume that is really good for me, that makes me feel good. The hardest part is making sure that you're just not snacking throughout the day and you're giving your body that time that it needs to reset between meals. And I've noticed the biggest change between that. So that's the hardest part, is like unlearning the munching habits. Keep yourself busy, guys. I'm constantly doing this, doing that. I'm working on projects within the house. I'm working on content creation, but I'm staying out of the kitchen. I'm not buying things that are gonna make me wanna munch, and I'm rewarding myself for, you know, doing good. I'm not saying that I don't eat anything that I want, because your girl does still treat herself to wine. I still treat myself to sweet treats, but I'm very calculated with the way that I treat myself right now. So calculated, because I do not want to get into the habit anymore of being addicted to sugar, because I was addicted to sugar for so long and I needed a sweet treat like every day, and it's been really hard to wean myself off, and I finally have, and it's made such a big difference in my skin. It's made a difference in my glow. It makes the biggest difference in my energy levels. Let me know if y'all want more videos on this. I plan on doing so many more videos on the topic of this, but yeah, this video is going to be very broad as I break everything down. I am planning to go into depth with all of these topics here very soon, so stay tuned for that. Lastly, we're going to talk about our mental health. This is the hardest part. I think one of the biggest things that keeps us from being who we want to be is having poor mental health every once in a while. And let me tell you, we're not always going to be in the right headspace. I'm not always in the best headspace, okay? Things are going to happen that are out of our control. Things are happening within the world that are so devastating, that puts us in a slump. Things are happening around us. So protecting your energy from people who just don't make you feel good, protecting yourself from social media, making sure you're not scrolling all day long and consuming content that makes you feel bad about yourself. But you could do all of that and still have poor mental health, and you can do all of that and still fall into a slump. And the thing is, if you are struggling, I highly recommend seeking professional help. It just helps you gain mental clarity. I don't think people realize how important mental clarity is for this journey. You need mental clarity. You need to feel good internally. You need to feel good up here to be able to feel good down here, to be able to nourish all the other parts of your body. And I hate that I talked about this last. I probably should have talked about this first, because mental health does play a huge part in keeping us stuck and keeping us feeling like we don't deserve the things that we want in our lives. Whether you are seeking therapy, whether you're journaling, whether you're talking to the people in your life constantly, really checking in with your mental health is going to be the number one thing that's going to keep you on track with being disciplined. Sorry. It's going to be the number one thing that's going to help keep you on track. Once you start implementing these changes in your life, guys, you will build discipline. Once these things become a priority in your life, you will build discipline. Once you start to show up for yourself more times than not, you will build discipline. And if you need encouragement, come back to this video. This video will always be here for you. I'm always here for you. I have several videos on my channel where I'm documenting this journey. I just started a little reset diaries and I'm super excited about it. So make sure you subscribe and check out my other videos if you want inspiration and motivation for becoming your best self. I am so grateful for all of you. You guys are like... I love making these videos for you guys. It just makes me so happy. It makes me feel so fulfilled to help you out on your self-development journey as I'm on mine as well. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. This is my second self-development video in the last 2 weeks. Who is she? And just know that I have so much more coming for you guys in the vault. So stay tuned. Make sure you guys check out Copilot. My link will be down below. I'm definitely going to be keeping up with Copilot now. I love having someone holding me accountable, and I love my girl Kate. So hey girl, if you're watching this, so check out Copilot. You can get Copilot for 2 weeks free using my link, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Can you tell I used to be a cheerleader and a cheer coach? Wait, what was that? White, red, white, fight, what? Cardinals fight, your car fight. I don't remember my high school fight song. I only remember the high school that I used to coach at. Anyway, bye guys. See y'all later.